Welcome back, guys. We got an update on our Shadow Man episode. The viewer that submitted the Shadow Man episode answered our questions that we asked in that video. So we asked if there was any missing persons around that time, like somebody lost in the woods is what we were thinking. He said that there was no missing persons at that time that he knew of. And we also questioned about the color and what more details on what the Shadow Man looked like. And his answers were the white was flat in color and the black almost seemed to absorb the other colors around it. Not like Tron. So it wasn't like a glowing ethereal type thing. And he said, yes, he has experienced other things, but never the Shadow Man thing again. And that for years up to that point, they had an unspoken agreement to get out of the woods before dark, but up to a certain line that they called the ghost line. Once past that line, they knew it was clear. They always felt watched after dark, or just an unsettling feeling that the viewer can't explain. He also provided us another story about the same woods. A few years after the Shadow Man, they still had the cabin in the woods, and their tools would come up missing or be moved to another spot. One winter, they had enough of it and decided to stay out there and hide and see what could be seen. They waited about an hour or more until they saw a gray man coming up the trail on the neighbor's part of the property. It moved to a pile of brush about 10 feet from the property, which was divided by a barbed wire fence. They were about 20 feet from the fence, so 30 feet total from what they were looking at. The thing they saw then was crouched down at the brush pile and then faded into it. Says they watched for a bit more but decided to leave as it was cold and it was covered in snow. They found no tracks other than theirs and they never saw it again, but they continued to have stuff moved or disappear. I still say that's a whole lot of fuck that. No,
Yeah, that's creepy. A gray man?
30 feet from the fence. So think about out in the woods, properties divided by a barbed wire fence. There's a bunch of brush near the fence that a gray man just absorbs into.
The fact that it's the woods is just what creeps me out.
I'm so getting Hobbit vibes though.
What
You know,
vibes?
like
Hobbit?
like the Hobbit. You know, like the wizard in the woods that just goes into the tree. But I'm not gonna go hang out in the viewer's woods and find out.
Uh, no. But I actually could if I wanted to.
That would be a cool investigation to go camping in the viewer's woods and see what we see. But I'd probably pee my pants if I actually seen anything.
Mm-hmm. It would. I don't think that that's a big wooded area. If it's the ones I'm thinking about. It doesn't matter. At night, it's creepy. Of course,
With
you
enough
know me though. I'm just scared to death of the woods. Like the woods is just the most horrifying thing to me.
with enough people though, you would have at least the safety in numbers, pretend that you're safe.
Well, that's true, kind
I'm
of.
extremely curious about this and the fact that they're not strangers. They're anonymous, but they're not strangers. I wonder if they would let us investigate the woods. Set up a few trail cameras.
And see,
Be
I
like,
wouldn't say it was an animal, at least now, because like they have chickens. So like if it was a creature of some sort, it would probably eat the chickens.
this is just a thought. Other viewers have suggested, like, why we've been doing a little bit more Native American content that isn't some creepy just stories, as other viewers have requested them. But while I was researching that stuff, I learned that they were Irish sprites or like that that Celtic lore where there's like little people that live in the woods, like fairies and sprites and elves and things like that. Well, there is Native American lore that there were things like that here. The Pajawakis were one group of them, but they're like little people, like little magical people. And in the stories, what I found interesting about these little people is that when the white people came in, they didn't say in their literature that they didn't exist or it was all like fairy tales. They said that they killed them and drove them deeper and made them hate the the colonists and made them act out and become violent towards them. So there's a belief that there are little magical people that do live in the woods. So is that what the viewer is seeing? Is those little magical people that helped the Native Americans, but the white people turned them mad?
Like, what'd you call them?
Pajawakis was one version of them. There was also there's a couple more, but the names of them are escaping me. But there's lots of stories, Native American stories about little magical people and that were helpers to them. And then when the white people came in, they started killing them off and drove them deeper in the woods to where they're not helpful anymore. Like they have no interest in helping us whatsoever. There was stories about like killing people and stuff like that, but mainly like cause mischief, make you have a bad day, flatten your tires, things like that.
Right.
Being mischievous. Very similar to like a gnome.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I was trying to think what creature is like that? Because yeah, it's a gnome.
A gnomes,
No,
if you're
it's
nice to
gnomes
them,
and fairies actually.
if you're nice to them, they'll bless you. But if you're wrong to them, they're wrong to you. But that popped in my mind reading this story that there is that part of American lore about little people, and I find that fascinating because across the ocean there's also lore there about little magical people living. It seems to be more accepted across the pond, so to speak, than it is in the United States. And I wonder if that is because we don't come out looking so nice in that story.
Could be.
That's what's catching my interest in the woods is what if it's not like a ghost or anything like that, but just some magical people that time forgot.
Could be. Remember, guys, if you have any experiences that you would like to share, send us an email at crypticcuriosityviewers at gmail.com.
Or you can also message us on Facebook.
Yes, the Facebook page will be linked down below. Until next time, everybody. Bye.
Bye.